Something changed inside the Golden State Warriors, and everyone felt it the moment the game against Portland ended. You could feel the frustration on the bench, the quiet shock in the locker room, and the uncomfortable questions hanging in the air. The Warriors shot the ball well. The offense was fine. Steph Curry was brilliant again. And yet, they lost. They didn't just lose, they were overpowered. They were outmuscled. They were dominated. Before we dive into everything that happened, remember to subscribe to Eerie Glow, hit the like button, and turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next updates. And tell me in the comments where you're watching from, because this community is growing every day. Now let's get into it, because what Steve Kerr said after the game might be the clearest sign yet that the Warriors are about to change everything. Kerr finally admitted what many fans have been screaming for months. The Warriors' famous small ball identity might no longer work. For years, small ball brought championships, nightmares for opponents, and a style that forced the NBA to evolve. But now, the league has grown taller, stronger, and more physical. Teams are running bigger lineups, attacking the paint relentlessly, and punishing any roster that lacks size. And against Portland, Golden State hit the wall hard. The Warriors were destroyed on the boards, losing the rebounding battle 52-32. That's not a small gap, that's a structural failure. It didn't matter that they shot well. It didn't matter that the offense produced good looks. When you give up that many second chance points, that many offensive rebounds, and that many easy baskets inside, you simply don't win in today's NBA. The main force behind that destruction was Donovan Clingan. The rookie looked like a superstar inside. 22 points, most of them effortless. Lobs, putbacks, offensive rebounds, deep seals, finishes right at the rim. He played like he was 2 weight classes above the Warriors, because in a way, he was. The lack of size, the slow help defense, and the poor rotations made Clingan look unstoppable. And that's the kind of performance that forces a franchise to question its identity. But it wasn't just him. The role players from Portland smelled blood. Caleb Love exploded on the perimeter. He hit shots, attacked downhill, and punished every slow closeout. Every time the Warriors gave him space, he made them pay. And this has been a repeating problem lately. Players who shouldn't look like stars suddenly do, simply because the Warriors cannot contain straight-line drives and cannot rotate fast enough to contest threes. After the game, both Jimmy Butler, who has been mentoring this team in certain defensive principles, and Steve Kerr called out the defense publicly. They didn't hide their feelings. They were tired of the simple mistakes, the lack of physicality, and the repeated breakdowns. Kerr said the point of attack defense is not good enough. Players are getting beat too easily. Help is coming too late. And the entire structure collapses when the first defender loses the battle. That's when Kerr said the line that made headlines around the league: the Warriors may have to change the way they play. He hinted at running bigger lineups, maybe even pairing 2 bigs at once. That could mean Tracy Jackson-Davis with post. It could mean post with Draymond Green. It could even mean Al Horford getting more minutes next to Draymond. The message was clear. The days of always playing small might be over. There's also a chance Jonathan Kuminga returns soon. And yes, he helps with athleticism, rebounding, and speed. He brings power in transition, energy around the rim, and the kind of vertical athleticism this team desperately needs. But even Kerr admitted that Kuminga's defense has been inconsistent. He'll jump passing lanes one play and lose his man the next. His presence helps, but he cannot fix everything. And here's the strange part. On paper, the Warriors' defense doesn't look terrible. Statistically, it ranks in the middle of the league. But when you watch the games, when you see the breakdowns, when you see players blowing by defenders without resistance, you realize that the numbers are lying. The eye test tells the truth. The defense is falling apart. The bench isn't helping either. Consistency is missing. One night Moses Moody looks like a reliable scorer. The next night he disappears. One night Kuminga looks unstoppable. The next he gets lost on rotations. One night Podziemski looks like a young leader. The next he struggles to find rhythm. The young core has talent, but talent without stability doesn't win games. The situation with Buddy Hield is even more concerning. He was brought in to shoot, to space the floor, to force defenses to stay honest. But when the shots don't fall, he doesn't bring enough in other areas. He doesn't defend well. He doesn't rebound. He doesn't create. And recently, he has been nearly unplayable. If this continues, he may become trade bait, because the Warriors cannot afford to waste roster spots. Meanwhile, Steph Curry keeps doing what he always does, carrying the offense, creating miracles, and giving the team a chance every night. But the hard truth is simple. He cannot do everything alone. Not at this stage of his career. Not with the league getting bigger and younger every year. Steph is still elite, but the roster around him is not performing at a high enough level. And the standings tell the story. Golden State now sits at 9-9. They've lost 3 in a row. They're slipping in the Western Conference, and pressure is building. You can feel the urgency. You can feel the fear of falling behind before Draymond returns to full strength, before Kuminga gets healthy, before reinforcements arrive. The margin for error is shrinking. This is why Kerr's comments mattered so much. This wasn't a coach trying to motivate his players with tough love. This wasn't a simple post-game speech. This was a fundamental shift in philosophy. A recognition that the dynasty formula isn't working anymore. A sign that the coaching staff is ready to adjust, even if it means letting go of the style that built championships. The Warriors might finally play bigger. They might experiment with a new identity. They might reshape rotations, roles, and responsibilities. And if things don't change fast, the front office might step in too. Because you cannot waste another season of Steph Curry. You cannot let the team sink into mediocrity. You cannot pretend the league isn't changing around you. So now, the Warriors stand at a crossroads. One path keeps things as they are: small ball, high skill, light lineups, beautiful offense but fragile defense. The other path embraces size, strength, rim protection, and a more modern version of basketball. The question is, which path leads back to contention, and which road leads to the end of an era? Whatever happens next, one thing is certain: the Warriors we will see in the next games will not look the same as the ones we saw last week. Change is coming, and it might arrive faster than anyone expected. If you want every update on this story, stay with Eerie Glow. Subscribe, like the video, and turn on the notifications. Big decisions are coming to Golden State, and we'll break all of them down, step by step. And here's a tip from the Fan Golden State Warriors channel. Study financial education and have opportunities in the financial market by studying REITs and investing in large brokerages around the world.